When I sold all my camera gear a few months ago, I had to start taking photos with my mobile phone because that's all I had. That was fine at the beginning, but then I got really frustrated because there's only so much you can do with a mobile phone. I really like to adjust my settings manually, I like to be creative, so I started to feel kind of restricted. There's a dog coming. Bonjour. 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 Oui. Ça va? That was funny. And then I decided to buy myself a new camera. It had to be relatively cheap, even though that's subjective, but not too expensive. It had to work well for what I want to do, the kind of photography, which is landscape, macro, relatively light. So then I started researching my options. Everything was going really well, but then I fell into the rabbit hole of research. I started thinking about my old camera, which is a Nikon D800, and I just remembered how I really loved taking photos with that. So I started to think about older camera, bigger camera, all sorts of things. I went onto a site where you can buy used cameras and just spent 1 or 2 weeks looking at all sorts of options and ending up completely confused and not knowing anymore what I wanted to do. Look how beautiful this is. Let's try not to fall over. Oh, I have a cramp. Around 2 years ago, I had bought myself already a second-hand camera, which actually ticked all the boxes of what I was looking for. Olympus OMD EM1 Mark II. I actually had a lot of fun with it. I even shot one of my first videos with this camera. I did not really have time for photography. I decided to sell this old camera. But then enough time went past and I realized that I had to buy the kind of gear which would be appropriate. There's a bee looking at my camera. So I just got myself the same camera that I'd had in the past and I'm so happy I did. The reason is you can find it really cheap on the second-hand market. Good enough for landscape photography. I mean, I know that ideally you would like to have a bigger sensor, all of that. But frankly, especially right now, I'm not really printing my photos. I'm doing a lot of these kind of hikes in nature. In the winter, I go skiing every day. I needed something really light, so that's actually a pretty good solution for me. This thing weighs nothing. It's so great and it's really good for macro photography. This is really small, look. There are these little drops on the mushroom. So now I have the new camera. I'm very happy to be able to take photos again. It's a great time. Mainly going to start with close-up macro photography because that's what I can do really easily during my lunch break at work. And then when we get into the winter, I will have more opportunities to be in the mountains every weekend. Thanks for sticking around until the end of the video. Here are a few photos that I've taken so far with my new camera. I need to go now because I shot this video before breakfast during the weekend in Chamonix. I got up really early. My wife is still asleep, but I think it's time to go for breakfast now. I'm getting really hungry. I'm looking forward to showing you what kind of photos you can take with this camera. And until the next time, I wish you a very nice day. Bye bye.